Aloha and welcome to this module on the basics of user interface design. In this module, we're going to be focusing on a particular kind of user interface, the browser-based user interface, and we're going to be looking at the two fundamental building blocks for creating user interfaces, HTML and CSS. And it's important that you have some basic understanding of HTML and CSS, even though next week we'll be going on to use a framework called Semantic UI, which is going to make it much easier to do high-level user interface design and make your sites look actually reasonable. This week we're going to be using very kind of primitive building some primitive pages, but the idea here is that you need to understand how CSS and HTML interact and how you control the layout of a page using them. You won't be a CSS ninja or anything by the end of the week, but that's not actually necessary because you just need to kind of understand if you want to tweak something, how would you look at your CSS and make it happen. But we'll be using a framework in this semester, Semantic UI, to do all the heavy lifting. So how does this work? I have a little screencast that talks about UI design at a high level, and the WODs this week are going to need you to merge and branch in GitHub. So I provide a little screencast here that kind of explains how you do that. That's a very important skill for collaborative development, and I'm introducing it here. Later on in the semester when you're working in teams, you're going to definitely need to do that a lot. So it's good to get exposed to it. There's a lot of Google has over 600 fonts that it makes freely available. So one of the things that really helps give your page a unique look and feel is using a custom set of fonts. So I have a couple readings about that. And then, of course, Chrome Developer Tools, we've been using it a little bit, but starting this week and for the remainder of the semester, you're going to find that Chrome Developer Tools becomes one of your BFFs because you're going to be using it a lot to kind of understand how the HTML, CSS, and Semantic UI interact to produce whatever it produces on your page. Then there's a tool called Live Reload. It's very optional, but I like to use it. That enables it provides a little server that sits around and watches when files change and then updates your browser window automatically. It just it avoids the need to be constantly hitting the refresh button. Not a huge deal, but I kind of like it. Okay, in terms of experiences, the big one is this HTML and CSS unit. There's about 57 challenges, I think, in this. It's supposed to take 5 hours. I don't think it'll take you anywhere near that long, but probably budget 3 hours to go through this tutorial. And at the end of that, you should be pretty good to go with basic understanding of HTML5 and CSS. And then to make sure that you're good to go, I have these 3 practice WODs for you. And then we'll have a WOD at the end of the week where you'll do some basic HTML and CSS. So hopefully, if you already know HTML and CSS pretty well, this should be a relaxing week for you. If you've never heard of CSS and HTML before, don't worry, because within a week you'll know everything you need to know to produce beautiful websites.